Hi, everyone. It's another COScast on a Friday. So I'm Pastor Tim Gauger, and we got someone to interview, a familiar face here, Rick Schrader, Christ Our Savior member. But in the winter, he and Bonnie are actually vacationing down, or really wintering, I guess is the right term, down in Texas. So I've had a few people the last few weeks after the big storm ask me if I had heard from Rick and Bonnie and how they're doing after that big storm in Texas. And that's right, they're down in the middle of that. So I thought I'd get a hold of Rick and see how things are going. So Rick, thank you for making some time to be on our program today.
No problem.
So where exactly, for everybody watching, where exactly in Texas are you and Bonnie? Where are you wintering?
We're in a town called Harlingen, Texas. It's about 20 miles north of Brownsville, which is right on the border of Mexico.
So you're way south.
We're way south. It takes us a whole day to get here in Texas alone. A whole day.
Everything really is bigger in Texas.
Yes, it
is. So you go across the border and it's a whole day of driving in.
Yes.
Holy
We're
cow.
about 4.5 hours south of Houston.
Oof. So maybe given that you're that far south and near the Gulf, did the storm miss you, or did it get you?
No, we're inland from South Padre Island by about 20 miles. But the storm hit us, of course, with freezing rain.
Ooh.
They weren't prepared for it, of course, and we had several days of 20s and 22 and 23 degree weather, which killed off everything. My orange tree looks like it's going to die. My cactus is dead. Our poinsettias are dead. We had rolling blackouts. What they did was they'd shut the power off for a couple hours and turn it back on so the houses would heat up, and then they'd shut it back off again. We did that for about a day and a half.
Okay.
We're doing good.
We're doing well though. All right. So I'm glad. So it's freezing rain. Now I know that the community that you're in, there's a lot of like snowbirds like you from up north. So it was I guess you all kind of understood what was going on. But
yes, we have probably the bulk of our people in the park here are either from Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa. We have from Kansas and that area, but most of us are northerners.
Right. So I was also maybe kind of like a COVID related question. I know that you had mentioned another year that there's Canadians that live down in the park with you, but how about this year? Did any of them come?
They can't. They aren't allowed to cross the border. So we have no Canadians in the park this year whatsoever.
Wow. What percentage of the park do you think is Canadian? Like roughly?
Probably maybe 5%.
Okay. So, but they're stuck up in Canada then, freezing.
Oh,
so
yeah, freezing.
That's too bad. So you mentioned you had an orange tree, and I was wondering about that too, because years ago, Linda and I went down to see the Bames in Arizona after they had gotten assigned to Tucson, and Gina had in their kitchen some fresh citrus, and I think it was lemons. It could have been grapefruit, but it was the best I ever had. So do you find that like the oranges right off the tree are just like incredible, or do you get fresh citrus and stuff this time of year?
Yeah, we have a sure-tail relative that lives down here, and she has 2 grapefruit trees, and we have an orange tree, so we get plenty of citrus fruit. And then there's a fellow that comes through the park with fresh pineapples from Guatemala. So we get,
oh wow!
So we get a lot of citrus and a lot of fruit. So
okay, so everybody up here this week in Michigan is feeling a little better because it was a little warm. We got above freezing. The sun's been out a couple days. Just to make us feel bad, Rick, what's the temperature there today as we're talking?
86 degrees. I've been outside on the patio, but it's too windy, so it would have been too noisy.
Okay. So just how many years have you been going down there now for the winter?
This is our 7th year. The first year we went to South Padre, 8 years ago we went to South Padre, and then we came over here and saw this park, and we bought a place, and we've been here ever since.
Good. So you enjoy it. So
oh yeah.
So something that maybe to kind of wrap it up, so that we don't all move down there because it sounds so wonderful.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome to come visit anytime. We got plenty of spare room.
Well, we'll keep that in mind. I tried to get a ride down there when you guys left in January, but I've got a job I got to do up here, you know.
Yeah, that's always a drawback.
So you get down in the nice warmer weather, even though you get storms once in a while. So maybe something about Michigan in the winter that you miss.
Right now, well, of course, we miss the family for the biggest missing, but outside of that, I would say just the people. The down here, except for the folks who are friends of ours right in the park, you know, it's hard to get to know people. Many of them are, well, especially down here this far down in Harlingen, speak very limited English.
Oh,
and we don't speak Spanish, so that can be a drawback even in the stores in some places. But
okay.
I would say we miss our friends up there, and I don't miss the weather.
Yeah. So you haven't yet to look out and say, "Oh, I wish I could see 3 feet of snow."
Oh no, I have a monitor in the house, and I look at it every day, and I have an outside monitor, and we kind of chuckle to each other some days when we see what the temperature is.
So I know you went down a little later this year because you had a granddaughter get married in early January. When are you thinking roughly about heading back? Usually it's like in April sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll probably be back right around the middle of April.
Okay.
I think we got to be home just for birthdays and stuff by the 12th.
Okay. Well, it's showing signs of warming up, so hopefully this continues, that when you come back, you can just kind of go from warm weather to warm weather. So
as long as the driveway's melted off, I don't care.
Well, I'd say I'd go up there and shovel it for you, but that would be a lie, and I shouldn't do that. So, well, we miss you up here in Michigan, but we're glad you're safe and sound. Say hi to Bonnie for us, and continued blessings down there in Texas.
Well, same to you, and say hello to all our friends that are at church.
We will.